All right, hey guys, I wanted to go over this Kaplan lesson with you. This is Kaplan lesson number 4. Uh, I've had a few people just have questions about exactly what needs to be completed and what you need to be doing here. So far, I've been putting up the Kaplan lessons. This is just usually if we're in personal, instruction, classroom instruction. This is just a workbook that we have, and you have to go through and write out the answers on your own piece of paper because we only have a classroom set. But because of the internet, we can each student has their own PDF copy like this. And with the Google Forms, I can just put the questions on there, and then you fill it out. So I wanted to look at the lesson first. Again, this is Kaplan lesson number 4. It's about expressing ideas clearly. Always you have this setting the stage activity in Kaplan, and that's just kind of giving you a warm up to the actual lesson. And as you can see here, this is asking us to look at the 2 drafts of a press release below. So press release, if you don't know what that is, if there's a movie coming out or a new TV show or something, publicists will send out a press release to newspapers. It's just a little, a fluff piece just to get the audience's attention, let them know, hey, this person has a new movie coming out or a new TV show or something. In this case, this is Jackie Chan, the martial arts movie star. This is just a made-up press release. We're going to read both of these. On the left, let's read this one first. Jackie Chan is a famous martial artist. He is also a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. Today, he was working for the United Nations. Chan will lead a television campaign about the dangers of bird flu. He appears in a 1-minute public service announcement. He is talking to children about the risk of contracting avian influenza from sick birds. Chan said, "This is not about creating alarm, but about helping children to be more alert and careful." Okay, great. It gets the point across. You see, you see what's being said. Let's look at the second one over here. Today, Jackie Chan, the famous martial artist and UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, was working for the United Nations. Leading a television campaign about the dangers of bird flu, he gave a 1-minute public service announcement. Chan spoke directly to children about the risk of contracting avian influenza from sick birds. Chan said, "This is not about creating alarm, but about helping children to be more alert and careful." Okay, so they both kind of say the same thing, both have the same ideas, they're just worded differently. So it asks, which of the 2 drafts do you think should be published and why? Okay, so I'm not looking at the answer key here. I'm just going off what I've read and what you've read, hopefully, at this point. Okay, the one on the left, the sentences are very simple. Each sentence is about the same length and the same wording. It's very abrupt and to the point. The second one, more sentence structure. You have better word choices, I suppose, and transitions. The second one just sounds better. I mean, if you don't want to get too complicated about it, too technical about it, it just sounds better when you read it. So again, the lesson is expressing ideas clearly. This one gives us a better idea of who Jackie Chan is and what he's doing. And it does it in a more, I guess, an entertaining way. Over here, by about halfway through, each sentence is just dot, 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 dot. You get kind of bored. It's very boring because halfway through, all the sentences are the same length, same wording, and I'm ready to just give up on that. So I'm going to go with the second one. I'm going to say that it's clearer and better word choice and better sentence structure. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to put down for the setting the stage. It's got a little spot there for you to on the Google form. It's got a place for you to fill this out. That's all you have to do. You fill that. You just enter in which one you like best and why. Actually, while we're doing this, I'm going to pull up the Google Classroom so we can see how long is it going to take. How long will it take me to navigate to Google Classroom? Hang with me 1 second here. I want to pull this up in a. Here we go. I'll pull this up so you can follow along with. All right, so this is Kaplan lesson 4. All right, so this is what you'll see whenever you're looking at the assignment. Again, you choose your name, you choose your class period, and Here we go. So setting the stage, which of the two drafts? So here's where you answer this. Page 27, setting the stage. Same question that's on here. Which should be published and why. Again, it's page 27. We tried to make this as simple as possible so it's hard for you to get lost. So now if we will go over to, watch this, let's see if we can get really fancy and pull double screen. Okay, great. So we go on down to the next page. This is the dress rehearsal, page 28 through 31. Dress rehearsal is just more practice, okay? This doesn't count as part of the grade. This is just to instruct you. So when you get to the showtime part, where we actually take a grade, you know what you're doing. So it gives us some vocabulary terms that you need to know. A dangling modifier is a modifier placed too far away from the word that it modifies. It causes confusion. Parallel structure is the consistent use of a single grammatical form for comparable words and phrases within a sentence. And you may have no idea what that means. That's fine. It's going to give you some examples right here so you can see what we're talking about. Sentence structure is the way, this introduction, sentence structure is the way that writers put words together. The way writers structure their sentences determines how effectively they communicate with their readers. A writer's sentence structure should demonstrate the following three characteristics. You should avoid dangling modifiers, okay? Place modifiers as close as possible to the words that they modify. And here it gives us a correct and incorrect example. First example, on television, Chan tells the children about bird flu. Second example, Chan tells the children on television about bird flu. Okay, so they both, you know what both sentences mean. But if you look at the first one, it's saying that on the TV program, right, on this TV show, Jackie Chan is telling these kids about bird flu. You understand that because it's got the comma telling you that you're watching the television. On this television, Jackie Chan is talking to these kids about getting the bird flu. Incorrect. Chan tells the children on television about bird flu. It makes it seem like the kids are on TV, the children are on television, and he's just sitting in his living room talking to the television, talking to the kids on TV and acting like they can hear them. You know what it means. You know what it's saying, but this is the correct way to say it. On television, Chan tells the children about bird flu. The second one, again, like I said, if you use your common sense, you know that Chan is talking to these kids. But the way it's worded, it's like he's a crazy person talking to his TV set. All right, if we go down to maintains parallel structure, use similar grammatical constructions for ideas of equal importance. An example is Chan practices martial arts, entertains on television, and serves others. We'll get some more not as good examples here in a little bit. But it's saying, what does he do? He practices martial arts, he entertains on television, and he serves others. And then a variety of sentence types. So this is one of the things I picked out from the second press release. Various sentence types. Readers lose interest if every sentence sounds the same. Use a combination of sentence types to create variety. So, for example, Chan is always the hero in his films. Chan performs dangerous stunts in his films. Chan sometimes gets hurt doing the stunts. Okay, it sounds very simplistic. It sounds like a first grade reader book, right? Like the little stories you get in the little the readers when you're first learning how to read. That's what it sounds like. Bob went to the mall, or Bob went to the store. Bob got socks. It's Bob went home. Bob put on his socks. It's very simplistic, and it's just boring when you're reading it. The second example sounds a little better. Chan is always the hero of his films. He performs dangerous stunts, but sometimes he gets hurt. Excuse me. So the same information, but it's just a little more interesting to read. So nothing to do on that page except to read. Please don't skip over this just because there's no question that corresponds to this. Please don't skip over this dress rehearsal stuff. This is what's going to help you answer these questions. All right, then we move on to one way, more dress rehearsal. One way to improve the clarity of ideas is by evaluating sentence structure. So here's a little handy chart just to help you evaluate the sentence structure. Is there a variety of sentence types? Do the sentences begin in a variety of ways? That's the transitions we were talking about. Do the sentences vary in length? Is the meaning of each sentence clear? So let's do one together, the first one here together. which set of sentences is more effective and why. So just like if you look over here on the right, you have two options, 1A and 1B, 1A, 1B. All you have to do is select which one you think is more effective. Then right below that, you have to put why. So it really, we tried to make it correspond directly to. So you have a question here for answering, and then just like if you had the workbook in front of you, you have a spot here for you to answer the text. Now, right now, this dress rehearsal stuff, it doesn't count for a grade. It's just practice. If you choose the correct answer on this, it'll tell you that you chose the correct answer or the wrong answer. Well, let's do this one together. Which set of sentences is more effective and why? 1A, Johnson is a popular Hey, let's start over. 1A, Johnson is a popular former basketball player. Johnson is currently a popular public figure. Johnson uses his popularity to establish a technology center. The community seems to pay attention to celebrities more than to unknown figures. Okay, you can probably already tell that that's going to be the simple sentence one. That's not a variety of sentence types. It's very awkward reading. Johnson did this. Johnson is this. Johnson uses this. So let's look at 1B. Using his popularity as a former basketball player and a current public figure, Johnson establishes a technology center. The community seems to pay more attention to celebrities than to unknown figures. So it takes those weird first three sentences in the first one, right, and combines them into one complex sentence. It sounds better. They vary in length. Each sentence is clear. We know exactly what it's talking about. So you're going to choose 1B for this one. And then I just gave you the answer for the next part. Why? It meets all of these. There's a variety of sentence types. It's only two sentences, but they're different. They're different enough that one sounds better than the other. They begin differently. They don't all start with the same word. Do they vary in length? Yes. One sentence is long and complex. One's not. And is the meaning of each sentence clear? Yes. So that's 1B. That's why we would choose 1B for that. Let's go on to the next one. One common error that writers make is using incorrect parallel structure. Using words in a repeating form creates a balanced sentence and expresses the idea more clearly. More clearly. All right, so this is the problem with a lot of writing. It needs to have this parallel structure. Which sentence is correct and why? Okay, let's look at 2A. Chan fights the bad guys in the movies, but he challenges the avian flu in the real world. Okay, that's good. Chan fighting the bad guys in the movies, but he challenges the avian flu in the real world. Okay, so 2B has a lack of parallelism. So right away, the answer is 2A. So you're going to choose 2A for page 29. So look at the tense of the verbs. Fights, challenges. Okay, both fights and challenges match up. Fighting and challenges. There's the conflict. Fighting, he's actively doing one thing. He's fighting the bad guys in the movies, and he challenges the avian flu. You would want to put, Chan is fighting the bad guys in the movies, but he was challenging the avian flu in the real world to make it match up. It's all in the tenses of the verbs, the ing and the s and s. So s and s, ing and s. The 2B is going to be the one you do not want to select. So 2A is the right one, and just told you why. All right, let's move on. Again, I'm not going to kill you with this. We're just going to go over this very quickly so everybody knows exactly what we're doing with the Kaplan stuff. All right, so this is on page 30. The following is a rough draft of a press release about Albert Pujols. I don't know. He's a baseball player, and I don't know anything about baseball. On the next page, determine whether the revision or the existing sentence contributes to a more effective essay. All right, I'm going to tell you right off, you need to read this whole thing, like from beginning to end. Read the whole thing, then go back, because it's going to ask you for, number one, which sentence works best. So you go back and read this sentence. According to the mission, I'm not going to read this all out loud. I don't want to bore you to death. According to the mission statement, the goal of the charitable foundation is to share our commitment to faith, family, and others. So here's the possible revision. The mission statement of the charitable foundation states that the goal is to live to faith, family, and others, and to share our commitment. Yeah. Okay, so do we want to accept revision, which means this one we're going to stick with, or leave it as is? I should say, I'm talking to myself here because I've not looked at the answer sheet for this since we made it. So I'm just talking my way through it, same as if we were in class trying to do this. This Thursday, according to the mission. So what's different? According to the mission statement, the mission statement of the charitable foundation states that the goal is. Yeah, I'm going to go with leave as is. I'm going to go with leave as is. And you know what? Let's check that. I don't mind being wrong. So let's see if I'm right or wrong. I'm breaking out the teacher's guide. That's why you hear me paging through up here. And yeah, leave as is. Leave as is the correct one. That's what sounds best when you're looking at this. So you go through and you answer page 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally, showtime. This is the part that's for a grade. Now you can see up here on the top right, this is worth 40 points. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. That means my math is right. Each one is worth 8 points. So you read the same type of passage, and it looks like this is about baseball as well. Then you go down and answer this, and you get these 5. Now, when you click the wrong answer, which is, I'm going to show you a little secret here. When you choose the wrong answer, it's going to pop up feedback, right? So whether you get it right or wrong, it's going to tell you why that should have been the right answer. Okay. All these questions appear. So I don't, this isn't trying to trick you. This isn't trying to get you to mess up to get a bad grade. We tell you why. If you pick the wrong answer for number 4 on page 31, if you chose accept revision, it's going to pop up and tell you that the original reflects parallelism, and that's why it should have been instead of accept revision, you should have chosen leave as is. And then once you're done with this, you submit it, and the computer automatically grades it, and it shoots me your score. That's how there are 20 some lessons with this Kaplan. It's going to, we do about 1, maybe 2 a week on a good week. So it is, a pretty decent part of your participation grade in my class. So make sure you're paying attention to it. Make sure you're actually learning from the mistakes in the dress rehearsal. And that's kind of why they name it this anyway. It's like putting on a play. You have your, setting the stage, getting everything set up, and kind of getting it in your head what you're doing. Then you have your dress rehearsal where it's practice. This is where you learn your lines. This is where you learn your parts, and you learn what this lesson is wanting you to do. And it gives you some practice and stuff to work with. But then when it gets to the showtime part, that's what we're holding you accountable for. And it's going to be the same as when you're in class sitting here with me. This is the part that I hold you accountable for. This is the part that gets counted as a grade. We'll do this on paper in class. Well, take that back. If you won't be doing it in paper, you'll be doing it on your laptop sitting in class, same as the people sitting at home. But still the same. The showtime part will be what gets counted for a grade. Okay, so that's Kaplan, and sorry for kind of droning on, but hopefully that kind of cleared it up. This is something I probably should have done the first of the week or the first of the year, but I kind of assumed it was self-explanatory, but that's only because I've done it now for a couple of years, so I know what we're doing in class, and it's a lot easier in person to show you what you're doing wrong. Whereas this way, I don't know that you're doing it wrong until a week later. So this hopefully will set everybody straight and get it so we're all on the same page. But if you have any questions about the Kaplan lessons, make sure you give me an email or call or post something in the Google Stream. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.